Hi there. Welcome to Old World Bakery. Wherever you're visiting from. I'm from all over. My name is Marika. And let's see, I just moved back to Prescott from France last summer. And before that, I was living in Belgium. And like all of you, I've got many layers to my story. Many different kind of hats that I wear, although it's a bit warm to be wearing a hat today. And one of those hats that I wear is that I am a musician and I'm a songwriter. And I write music with people from their spoken and written stories. And I think that being invited to share our story, a real story from our life, is becoming more and more a revolutionary act. I think it's countercultural and it's kind of dangerous because it can help us see the world and each other in a different way. And I have found that writing songs with people, can help to process maybe something difficult that we experienced maybe a long time ago and that we've been carrying for a long time. I've also found that doing this with a group and then sharing the songs with all of you can help us to make connections with people who we may never have met, maybe who we've been taught to fear, and it can create this bond just across culture, across religion, across race. And so today I'm going to share songs with you that I wrote with refugees and asylum seekers in Belgium, people traveling from war-torn countries for different reasons, and who I felt really blessed to meet. They shared their stories with me and we shaped them into songs. And I'll tell you a little bit about those songs as I play them. And maybe you'll hear your own experiences in those songs as well and start singing them yourself. I'm going to start with a song that I wrote with two refugees from Syria and Gaza. And this older man from Syria, in Arabic, which I don't speak, was sharing this idea that he really wanted to make a difference in the world, which as a single person can feel really daunting. But he thought, if I could show people that there was hope and love, and I could do that by being a word of hope and love and living in every home, then perhaps that I could make a difference. And then this other resident from Gaza helped us to translate that into English. So I'm going to sing this in English for you. A lot of the songs are in lots of different languages, and music being the universal language, I think, because I think we're all just primally musical beings. But I'll start with one in English. I am a word of hope and love. I bring honor to the world. I will push the darkness away. Can I come to your house and stay? I am a word. I am the root of all resistance. I bring light for us to grow. I will push the sorrow away. Can I come to your heart and stay? I am a word. I am the life you've left behind, the path that you now follow, the melody of your song, the place you can belong. I am a word of hope and love. I bring honor to the world. I will darkness away? Can I come to your house and stay? I am a word. Thank you. Hi, Eva. Wow, we do still run into people we know. That's amazing. I saw you walk in. I was like, oh my gosh, you look beautiful.
Oh, it's so good to see you. It's nice. I just here yesterday and I was talking about you and how I just thought, oh, we'd have to show up in her talks.
I've got one more and then I'm giving up. So you're welcome Tuesday. Well, just for now. It's just not feeling like aligned. But I'll be there Tuesday. 5. Yeah. I'll send you a message.
But if I can get out, I'll be there.
But you're welcome to come to my house anytime. We'll do some yoga. I'm also a yoga teacher. So. And that's a very beautiful being who just came and said hello. You're all beautiful beings. It's really interesting. So I was just mentioning that I write music with people from their stories. And, you know, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but when I was little, I used to sing a lot. I used to dance. And then at some point, I just stopped. And I think it was like maybe someone reflecting to me that I just, you know, or I got the sense that they didn't like my voice or, you know, something like that. But something I've noticed with a lot of people is they'll tell me, you know, I don't have a voice that's very good, so they don't want to sing, you know, at all. And I don't have a story that is interesting enough to become a song. And if you're sitting here thinking, well, that's, you know, you've written songs from these other stories, you're like people who have traveled around the world, but my story's not interesting. I can tell you that every story will make a beautiful song, and it's one that I think the more that we communicate kind of what we've experienced, the more that other people can make a connection and realize like, oh, we're not actually all that different. We have similar desires. We want, you know, a safe place for our children. We want a peaceful life. You know, we want to feel like even if we've made a mistake, there's a second chance. So I'm going to sing another song that I wrote that's kind of along those lines. And, you know, something I found working with asylum seekers in particular was that, you know, they have often experienced some really intense trauma, but they had such hope. And they really had this idea that, you know, that we can see ourselves in other people's stories. We can start again. And this song is kind of a call and response, but it's got a really kind of positive outlook. It's called Break the Code, and I wrote it with an asylum seeker from Iran. How do I break the code and sing? I need somebody to explain. I want someone to share my pain. Without my kids, I'm not the same. The past is past. I'm an optimist. The best is yet to come. The past is past. I'm an optimist. The best is yet to come. I'm an immigrant from a foreign land. I've been there too, I understand. Come walk with me, we'll make a stand. Heart to heart and hand in hand. The past is past. I'm an optimist. The best is yet to come. path. I'm an optimist. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Thank you. It's a little scary singing these songs in Prescott. But I had, I used to work with, so I developed this songwriting method when I was studying in a PhD program at Prescott College, studying this idea of sustainability. And, and thinking about this idea that, there's a lot of people out there who are doing really good work, whether it's like at an individual level or just a really big global level. And just even raising children, it's an exhausting job, and you can burn right out doing it. And I found in this program with this group of people who are all just brilliant, really kind, that they were like, here's how I'm going to save the world. And but then they would talk about their own individual life, and it was just a complete mess. They were exhausted, and one of them just had a baby and was studying for a PhD, and she was just, like her husband was traveling all the time. And it started, I started to think about the idea that, like, we're not really modeling a good sort of sustainability template if we just completely keel over, try to kind of fix things. So I started looking at this idea of self-sustainability, and the idea that, if we start with each individual person, kind of helping each of us to think about, like, what is it that we want in our life? How can it be balanced and healthy? And, how can we learn how to kind of come back to a place of balance when so much in life is out of our control and just knocks us off our feet? And it was this method of songwriting that I found was one way, one little way to do that. But it can, sharing real stories, I said when I first started, I think it's kind of a revolutionary thing, and it can make people uncomfortable. But my research partner who I developed this method with used to perform regularly with a band, and he said, so long as no one's throwing rocks at you, you're okay. He was like a folk musician, and he had gone to this event where people were expecting a punk rock band. And they were not a punk rock band, and so they actually had rocks thrown at them. So, I guess at a bakery you could have like a scone tossed at you, but then you can just eat it, So anyway, I'm going to share a song So I worked when I was in Brussels. I went every Monday to this asylum center. So the first place that people who are coming from another country and are hoping to be able to stay in Belgium, and I don't know exactly how it works here in the U.S. because I haven't been here for a while, but they would go to this center and they would apply for asylum. And myself and another woman who's a poet, we would go every Monday, and we felt like we were kind of the sort of artistic welcoming committee. She would bring sometimes a line from a poem, and I would bring instruments, and we would invite people to share their words, and we'd shape a song from it. And so she shared this poem, and we were trying to get someone to translate it into Arabic with us, and he had no idea what we were saying. We didn't speak Arabic, he didn't speak English. And the line was, I know what it is to be in between, and it's from this book, England Poems from a School. They're all poems written by adolescents who moved to the UK from war-torn countries. And we were trying to act out this idea of being in between, so we'd have two people standing here and someone come and stand in the middle, and then he was like, oh, I get it. And he shared this whole story, and so I'm going to sing the story in English and then a sort of translation, interpretation in Arabic. So some things are lost in translation, but some things are gained, and I think, music is a way that you can gain meaning and feeling. So this song is called My Lovely, Habibi, Habibi in Arabic. You're welcome to take a sticker if you want. Got stickers. You're all welcome as well. My lovely, where is the time we used to meet? My lovely, I am somewhere in between. My lovely, will you meet me on the moon? My lovely, I need to see you soon. My lovely, will you meet me in the sky? My lovely, we will have to learn to fly. Habibi, zanataki fi al-kamar. Habibi, atajlikia. Habibi, ana anta ana. Habibi, ana bayin kablik. Habibi, bahevek siwan tamunri. My lovely, where is the time we used to meet? My lovely, I am somewhere in between. Thank you. So I do have, if you want free things, I have stickers, and I have some business cards. So I haven't recorded these songs officially. I'm kind of trying to work on it, but I've got lots of recordings on my YouTube channel, and you can read about the writing of each of these songs on my website. Oh, here, lots of different pictures, so you can, Yeah. You need magnifying glass to read them, but I grew up playing piano, right? So, but everything has had to get a lot smaller and more mobile because I'm also a nomad. We published a book of all the songs, so it talks a little bit about the project, and the proceeds go towards. We haven't made too many proceeds. They're not like flying off the shelf, but someday maybe. But we're putting those towards recording the songs and then eventually donating as much as we can to organizations that work with refugees. So the books are called On the Move, Poems and Songs of Migration. And there's lots of images in there that show you. What we would do is we would put a piece of paper up on the wall and invite people to come and write words. You're welcome. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, you're so sweet. I'm really honored. Thank you. Oh, that's okay. So we would invite people to come and write in different languages, and then we'd be looking at how can we combine all these different stories and languages, into one song. It's kind of, I think, a micro metaphor for this country and the world. Like, how can we take all these different languages, all these different experiences, and shape them into a community, a global community of people who can see one another and support one another, even if they've lived very different lives and walked different paths. So I believe that that music is one way to do that. Poetry and art. It's this space that we can create where people can feel safe to just really share what's coming up for them. And I honestly, looking at just all the events of this year alone, I think we need more of that. So that's one way that I try to, make a difference. So I've got this song speaking about kind of thinking of how can we see each other, ourselves and other people's stories. How can other people see us, kind of in their experiences. And I wrote this song with a refugee from Gaza, from Poland, from Romania. The woman that I worked with at the center, we volunteered together. She's from Scotland. I'm from the US, but like nowhere and everywhere. And so this song is called The Hand That Hurts Can Also Heal. And we wrote it thinking about, how can we identify with one another? And part of it is just, kind of I think imagining ourselves in someone else's shoes, something we learn when we're really little, but that I think the older we get and the more layers of experience, some good and a lot that aren't so great, you know, we create this kind of shell that to protect ourselves, but I think also that shell makes it harder for us to see other people. So this song is called "The Hand That Hurts Can Also Heal." It's a little bluesy. There's always a place for the blues, though. Enough with all the hate, away with all the prejudice. It's time for a change, but how? We've been living upside down. The choice is in our hands. We can turn the world around, but how? I wanna feed the birds, see the world anew, put our differences aside, try another point of view. With